Hi everyone, Bob here. So something a little bit different today. I'm doing a bit of a showcase on my 40k army, Dark Angels. So this is my own chapter. They're called the Blades of Calaban. So I've been collecting them for quite a while. It's not a huge collection, but I think they look pretty good. And we'll just go into the models and have a look. Okay, so starting in the centre, I've got what most people term as the green wing, which is your standard Space Marines. So starting here, I have got 4 units of tactical Marines. Each one has got a heavy weapon and a special weapon in each squad. So as you can see, there's the ones at the very back there. I haven't finished painting. Like almost everybody else who's got a 40k army, there's always something that needs painting. So a lot of these models have been taken from the Dark Vengeance box set, mixed in with tactical squad kits, and with the addition of some Forge World, well I think they were Forge World, tactical shoulder pads, and a few other bits and bobs. I don't think any of the kits are sort of straight Marine models. I've got lots of bits and pieces mixed in. Obviously there's a lot of Dark Angels upgrade kits in there, as well as a few little bits of Blood Angel stuff, so you might be able to spot those if you really have a good look. Each of those units, apart from the one at the back, has a dedicated transport of a Rhino. So I really enjoy doing vehicles. Each one has got a hand-painted individual symbol on the top. I really enjoy doing that sort of thing. So one for each squad there. And also not shown, of one of these rhinos can be converted into a Razorback if needed. Then right at the back we've also got a drop pod, which I can put a tactical squad in, or one of my veteran squads. Again, it's not quite finished, but there's just mainly the outside. I've got to just do some final coats on. So then up the front here, I've got my veterans. Again, they've all been pretty much kit bashed from the veteran frame, upgrade frames, and other bits and pieces. So I can actually split these into 2 squads, one with close combat weapons and one with sort of bolters and long range weapons as well. I also use these to mix up the sergeants in my tactical squads. So if I need a sergeant with a particular close combat weapon, or like a power fist or something like that guy there, I can put them in the tactical squads. Yeah, so again, these are just all pretty much kit bashed. So a lot of the guys have got Corvus hammers, so there's no actual, I don't think, in the rules to allow them to have a Corvus hammer. I just use them as a proxy for a chainsaw. I just think they look cool on the veteran models. It sort of keeps in with the Dark Angels theme. Right at the front then, I've got my command models. Oh, sorry, going out of focus there. So normally, in previous editions, they'd have all just been included in the squads. That's why you can see there's probably an uneven number of veterans. But in 8th edition, obviously the characters have come out of the squads. So starting on here, I've got Interrogator Chaplain. I really like that model. That one came with, that was the exclusive model with the Dark Vengeance kit, I think. Then that was the Captain with the Dark Vengeance kit as well, and again another really good model. I chose to paint his armour black because I just wanted it to feel like it was like a relic from the Horus Heresy, so I gave him black armour. Then we got the Apothecary. Again, he's now obviously a separate model. He feels separately, but originally he was in one of my units. And then I believe these now are called Ancients, so basically a standard bearer. The banner is hand painted by me. Again, it's all kit bashed. Lots of different pieces from different kits. Then right at the front, just because he's a cool model, I got Cypher. I really enjoyed painting this guy up. Doesn't really fit with the Dark Angels unless I'm playing a Traitor Legion, and then he will be my probably HQ choice for a Traitor Legion. And then right at the front, I've just got a few objective markers I've made. So then down here, I've got my Dreadnoughts. So at the front there is the gorgeous Forge World Dark Angels Venerable Dreadnought. I really love this model. It was absolute joy to paint. What I've also done is I've magnetised the weapons, so you can change them all up as and when if you want. That is just a beautiful model from Forge World. Really love it. Yeah. Then behind it I have got so this one here is actually a metal dreadnought. You can't really see that, but it's very old. Had it a very long time. That dreadnought has actually been probably 3 different chapters in its life. So yeah, I do love it. It's got a lot of sentimental value to me. Really love that dreadnought. And then over here, this is actually a Blood Angels, well, it was a Blood Angels dreadnought. I can't remember which pattern, but I decided that I wanted it to be Dark Angels, so I just Dark Angeled it up to my chapter's colours. I've made the gun on this side. All these are removable. The gun on this side is a huge flamer I made, which I'm really pleased with. They are off a Land Raider, I think. I just wanted a really huge flamer on the model for some reason. I can't really remember why. But yeah, I made that and just stuck it on there. Yeah, I just think it's quite Dark Angel-y.
A good portion of his army is ex-Blood Angels, isn't it?
There's quite a few ex-Blood Angel models, but I try to make it so that it's you won't notice it.
Yeah.
But if you've got a keen eye, you might see that there's some Blood Angel-y bits. I've generally tried to use bits that are easily Dark Angel or Blood Angel. I mean, they're the Angels of Death, so they often fight together.
I think it's quite a lore. It keeps in line with the lore, I think.
Yeah, I mean, if you remember years and years and years ago, there was actually one codex for the Angels of Death, which both armies appeared in, I believe. Anyway, going on from Dreadnoughts, got my Devastator squads. So first up is Plasma squad. You can see there, I've tried to do a bit of lighting effects on the plasma weapons to, I don't know, varying degrees of success. But if you know Dark Angels, you know that we love plasma. And behind them, I've got a missile unit. Behind them, I've got heavy bolters. There's one which has got an older pattern type heavy bolter. Again, it just adds a bit of interest. And then behind that, we've got my Assault Marines. So again, what I've tried to do with the Assault Marines is you'll notice there's Corvus hammers in there. I just proxy them for chain swords or sometimes a power sword or whatever. But yeah, you'll see if you look very closely, there's a lot of Dark Angel parts in here. These Marines were made with a lot of bits, sorry, Blood Angel parts. There's a lot of bits from the Blood Angels Assault Squad, particularly the legs. And then I've tried to make them more Dark Angel-y by using bits from the Dark Angels kits as well. So there they are. Again, I've got a lot of painting to do left on these things. So I've lined them up there in squads of 5, but as well I can use them as squads of 10. So there's 4 squads of 5 plus sergeants there. Okay, so that is all of the standard Space Marines. You'll also note that I don't have any of the new Primaris, mainly because I just wanted my chapter to be different. They do not allow Primaris Marines in their chapter. They're a little bit more insular than the main Dark Angels and Suspicious, if you can get more Suspicious than Dark Angels, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, so I haven't got any Primaris. To be quite honest with you, it's only because I've got so many Marines I've still got to paint that I've trying not to buy any more before I finish what I've got. Okay, so on to my Deathwing. So we'll start with the character models at the front. So first one we've got here is Interrogator Chaplain in Terminator armor. I really like this model. I think that this one is it's fine cast. It's a reproduction of the old metal ones. But yeah, I really like this one. Then we've got next to him is my Librarian, who he's been through a couple of armies as well. I think he was Ultramarines at some point. He's a metal model, so he's quite heavy. Really nice to plonk him down on the table, especially when he deep strikes in. Yeah, so I've had him a while. That's the Librarian. And then over here we've got my Counts as Belial. So he's been kit bashed from lots of different pieces, from different Terminator frames. He's got Forge World shoulder pad. Don't know whether you can really see that very well. Very good. Quite a nice cloak on him. And then I added this sort of banner top as well. He's also magnetized, so I can change him out for the Thunder Hammer as well if I need to, or Lightning Claws, whatever. Oop, right. Lightning Claws if I want to. So yeah, he's magnetized. Then behind that, I mean, again, these have now changed to single command models, so it's my, he's now that way. So Terminator Ancient, I guess they're called now. So he's got the big banner on his back. Then you've got, I think that's Champion of Calaban, I think. It's been a while, with a big sort of lady thing. No idea what that does in the new edition, because I haven't really played that much of the new edition. Is just a cool model. I just love that big sort of halberd thing. Really nice. I haven't actually glued that one in yet, but yeah. Then we've got the Apothecary. Really enjoy painting the Apothecary. White is quite a hard colour to do, but I still really enjoyed it. Yeah, so Apothecary. Then behind those guys, I've got my Deathwing Knights. So there's 6 of those. They actually come in squads of 5, but I kit bashed an extra one out of bits I've had lying around, plus spare parts from the sprues. So if you can tell which one is the kit bashed one, well done. Because to be quite honest with you, I'm not sure. I'm not sure myself. I think it might, is it that one? Yeah, it's that one, I think. Because yeah, it's that one. Because the backpack is slightly different. That's a standard backpack, whereas the Knights have that sort of arch to the vents on the back. So yeah, that one there is made from legs from one of the expansion frames, I think, and the front was cut from an extra front I had. Again, I had a spare shield, and basically used other Terminator bits to make him up. So it just gave me an extra model for free. There we go. Then behind them we've got my Terminator squads. I'm not even sure how many I've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Terminator squads of 5 or possibly 6 models, depending on which one it is. This one at the front with the lightning claws, they are all magnetized, so I can change them for thunder hammers and shields or wherever. So they all change up. Again, there's quite a few Forge World shoulder pads in there. They're sort of mixed in somewhere. Sergeant there. I tend to do my sergeants with a bare head, just so it's easy to identify the sergeants. I'll put a big banner on the top of that one. Then onto my standard squads. There's probably 2, I think, squads of Dark Vengeance Terminators mixed in with regular ordinary Terminators plus expansion frames, what they're called, upgrade frames for the Dark Angels bits and bobs. So yeah, they've all, again, none of them are, well, some of them are straight out the box, some of them aren't. There you go, that's those. Really like the sergeants. I think they look really cool. So that's a different sergeant there. I just tried to make the sergeants look a little bit different from the troopers. And then at the back, another set. Yeah, those 2 models are exactly the same. So they're both from Dark Vengeance sets. I've tried to paint them slightly different, I think. Yeah, and again, as you get further back, ones I haven't finished. So those guys, the arm, I do have the arms for those guys with the shields. I just leave the shields off while I'm painting them. It just makes it a lot easier for me to get to them. Okay, then right at the very back, I've got 2 Land Raiders. Oh, sorry. It's going out of focus, which is a shame. There we go. 2 Land Raiders. I love Land Raiders. I know that they're not great on the table anymore, but I just love Land Raiders. I think they're brilliant. This one, so I've got one standard one, and then I've got this one here where, hang on a minute, I've magnetised these so that...
Do you know which one's the Blood Angel one?
Yes, that one.
The one without all the special cool...
Yeah, the one without all the special cool stuff, because I haven't... I was going to do a freehand on it, I just haven't got around to doing it. But yeah,
the freehand is awesome.
So this is the one... if I'm going to put anything in it, I'll put Terminators in it and rock this up the field. It's the one with the Hurricane Bolters. Crusader, I think it's called. But yeah, I've got las cannon, so I can actually, and a heavy bolter, which I can exchange for that. So I can actually make that into another standard Land Raider if I want to. So yeah, sometimes they have Terminators in them. You know, I'll bring them out on the table. My opponent usually goes, ugh, you know, but you know, I like them. They look cool. So yeah, I'm not one of these people who sort of meta games and min maxes and anything like that at all. I just like cool stuff on the table, and invariably I lose. But you know what? Don't care. My army is cool. I like it. And they are more thematic than, you know, designed to win, because they don't very often. Okay, that's that bit. Right, okay, on to my Ravenwing. Yep, starting at the front is my Samael model. So now with a rule change, I can't technically use him anymore because he's a Dark Angels character, not a successor chapter character, so I can't use him. However, I can proxy him for something else. It's fine. His sword is missing at the minute. I've only just noticed that. It's not a biggie. I can just put in another sword somehow from somewhere. Yeah. Again, I like this model. It's really good, quite fiddly to paint, but I did enjoy doing it. You know, my painting's not like top tier or anything, but I think it's okay. Does the job, sort of thing. Yeah, quite like that model. Unfortunately, that one is it's a fine cast. I wish it had had a metal one, but hey ho. Right, then at the front, I've got my command models. Apothecary on bike. He's part of the, I think they're called Black Knights. Correct me if I'm wrong. Black Knight squad. So he's my Apothecary on a bike. Next to him, I've got the Champion. Again, part of the Black Knights. Sometimes, if I'm not using all the Black Knights, I'll just use him as like a captain for the standard bikes. Then my kit-bashed Librarian. Oh, sorry. I'm really proud of this one. this guy was just made from lots of different bits. He was actually the librarian. The top half is the librarian out of the Dark Vengeance kit. So basically his right arm and torso and head are from that kit. But if you remember, if you know the kit, he was a one-piece model, so I had to cut him off at the waist. I added biker legs from the Dark Angels frame, extra bits frame. I managed to find that's a standard arm from a biker, different shoulder pad that I had lying about, and then a biker's bike. I've also put on the back, sort of strapped to his strapped to the back of the bike, a force axe. It's actually a power axe that I've just proxy as a force axe. So I can have a librarian zooming about the battlefield. That's quite cool. Then so these guys are called an ancient now, I believe. But originally he would have just been in let's move that out of the way. He would have just been in the standard squad of Black Knights. Really cool banner, really like doing that. Quite fiddly, but I really like the model. Just something you may not have noticed with the because this is my own chapter. Although I've got the Ravenwing and Deathwing basically painted as standard Dark Angels, there is a little nod to the fact that it is a successor chapter. So if you notice on his shoulder pads, that one's got a green edge, and that one has a white edge. So if you couldn't see what my actual scheme is, here we go. It is quartered with sort of cream. It's very hard to get in focus. Quartered with green and cream. So that's my colour scheme. Green and cream quarters. And then on the Deathwing, let's see if I've got a good one to denote the fact that they are part of this chapter. They have got a quartered shoulder pad with green and cream. So they're painted in the normal sort of Ravenwing. So, you know, if I wanted to use the Dark Angels rules rather than a successor chapter, I could get away with it with these guys. But yeah, I quartered the out of focus. Quartered the shoulder pads just to denote that it was part of my own chapter. Anyway, so behind the command models, let's just move those forward. I've got a unit of Black Knights. So I put these together. It's actually 2 boxes of Black Knights. Actually, it's 3 boxes of Black Knights. I think I've got, which I've used command model bits to. Yeah, so it's 3 boxes of Black Knights. Possibly. Anyway, so these are all the guys with Corvus hammers. They're really good. I've done one with a grenade launcher because why not? I know people don't take them, but I like them, so there we are. Yeah, not quite finished some of them. As you can see, the bases haven't been done, and I've got some highlighting to do on those. Yeah, love them. Corvus hammers, they're great. And then behind them, I've got a standard bike squad of 6 bikes. They're just pretty standard, they are, with a sergeant on. Then behind them, I've got my melter bikes. So these are all bikes that have been given melter guns. So I had an upgrade frame with a load of melter guns on. So they are for getting really, really close, up close to basically anything that I want not to be there anymore, and unloading a load of melter guns in them. So yeah, they're quite scary. Then behind that, I've got my attack bikes. So I've got 3 attack bikes. One, again, they're all multi-melters on there. Yeah, I know I should. It's questionable whether having a multi-melter on them is any good, but basically these, I just whiz them across the battlefield and try and take out, you know, the enemy's big tank or walker or whatever it is, and you know, to varying degrees of success, to be quite honest with you. Then at the back, I've got a squad of land speeders. These are magnetised as well, so you can take the weapons off, just magnetise them. So if I want to save a few points, I can take them off or swap them with something else. I've got a bag somewhere with all those in. So I've got 3 of those, and at the very back is my Dark Shroud. I sort of combo these up to give them, well, you know, the special rules from the Dark Shroud. And I've actually run this, the Ravenwing side, I've run this just as one army with nothing else, which is quite fun. And again, I've had varying success with it. Sometimes they can completely wipe out an enemy. Other times, depending on obviously who you go up against, they can be absolutely obliterated, but it's always a fun game when you do it. Right, that's about it. Hope you've enjoyed looking at my Dark Angels. Oh, one last thing. That's the board I made, which is a interchangeable board, so I can move the bits about. I've not put any terrain in just to get obviously all my models on the table. Yeah, but I made that myself. Oop, going out of focus. There we go. So yeah, that's about it. That's all my Dark Angels armies. Hope you've enjoyed it. Something a bit different, not the usual LARP stuff that I do. If you liked it, like and subscribe. Hopefully do some more videos in the future. I've got a Tau army, which I might show at some point, and I've got Orc and Goblins and Dwarves from the original Warhammer. I might stick them on a table at some point and do that. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.